Greetings from Podcastville. The Church of What's Happening Now is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Listen, a fresh new year has begun, and if you're setting new goals for your business, it's extremely difficult to reach them without the right people on your team. ZipRecruiter has transformed how you go about finding them. ZipRecruiter posts your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards with just one click. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by businesses of all sizes and industries to find the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, today, the church family can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/church. That's ZipRecruiter.com/church. One more time, I messed that one up. That's ZipRecruiter.com/church. Get the best talent available to you right now. Number 2, you know what your number 2 New Year resolution should be? I'm going to wash my ass more. This year, I'm going to have my ass tip-top magoo 4 times a day, because from time to time I put my hand down there and I'm scared to wave it because fucking birds will come down. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got Hello Tushy. Go to HelloTushy.com and use code CHURCH for 10% off your order. Why walk around with a filthy fucking asshole and nuts stinking like a dead man when you could have a portable bidet right in your house? You could use it even if you don't shit. Like sometimes you're just in the mood to wash your balls. You could dip your nutsack into that bidet, turn that nice little cold water on, soap them up with that new water, that new soap, that liquid soap, and sponge them with like a fucking loofah. You know what happens to your nuts? Tip-top magoo. You gotta pay, people be paying you to suck your fucking nutsack. Go to HelloTushy.com right now and press in church for a 10% discount. 60-day money-back guarantee. Hello Tushy, the best portable bidet out in the market. I also want to give a shout-out to my family. On it! Always on it. With the best supplements out there. You understand me? From Alpha Brain to Shroom Tech to the Hemp Force Protein Shake Cocoa. That's my world. Go to honor.com and press church and get this party started. Lee, kick this fucking mule. Church of What's Happening Here. Happy New Year. May this year be your best year on fucking record. You understand me? You'll be healthy because without your health, you got dick. And with the health, everything else will fall into place. My guests tonight are fucking Agostino Zoida, my little brother, and the Christ Killer, the original, the Mazzo Cristo, Lee Syatt, freshman's New Year's trip to San Jose.
Beautiful.
He's a fucking savage, you know what I'm saying? He made San Jose the New Year's destination and shit.
Just follow me from Long Beach to San Jose, the top trips in California.
What'd you do up there?
I did a lot of stuff.
Don't even ask him.
Oh my God. You know what I mean?
Don't even ask him, please.
Oh my God. There's a museum. There's a computer history museum. That was cool. Went inside the house where Steve Jobs grew up and started Apple. We went to a place in Santa Cruz called the Mystery Spot. It was fucking awesome.
You went to Santa Cruz?
Oh yeah. We went to Santa Cruz. They have a place in the Redwood Forest where for whatever reason things just aren't the same. Like compasses go crazy. You feel dizzy. Like the house, like every building they try to build on this hill falls and slides. The house, like you feel like you're like really dizzy. It felt like you had what's the thing? Vertigo. Oh my God, it was cool. And we went on a tour there. What else did we do? Yeah, the Computer History Museum was really cool. It was just seeing the birth of computers 100 years ago, and but actually taking us back to like abacuses, and like I didn't even know computers started with a punch card system, like an actual paper card was telling a computer what to do. There wasn't any memory or anything in the computer. It was pretty interesting, and yeah, it's great up there. I had the best sushi of my life up there. It was with no valet parking. And everyone's nice. Everyone just everyone at any store is happy to see you, and it doesn't happen everywhere you go. So we had a great time up there.
Very nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway,
shout out to the Bay Area.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, how was your New Year's, my friend?
Very, very light. I loved it. It's great.
You didn't even think about going out.
No. I don't want to.
It's so weird how your life changes from New Year's. At one point, you can't think of not being out on New Year's. And at one point, you're like, okay, I'm not even doing dick. Like, I was in bed at 10. I went to Huntington Beach and I ate 2 fucking edibles. And at 7:30, I knew it was gonna be a rough night. Like, I'm like, I don't think I'll make it to fucking midnight. I had been on the beach. We walked half the fucking beach looking for seashells. If I didn't bend over once, I didn't bend over 1,000 times to pick up fucked up shells and shark tooths and shit. You know? So I knew it was gonna be, walking in the sand fucking roughs you up a little bit.
Yeah.
So we kept walking. Daddy, let's go chase the seagulls. Let's go do this. I look back at the fucking bridge. I'm like, we're a mile down, dog. Let's a fucking walk.
Yeah.
And last night we were going to go to Dairy Queen, but it was so fucking cold. Like, it had dropped so much at that point. And we didn't want to walk with her in the middle of the fucking circles of people. We just said, fuck it. We stayed in and I watched Shark Tank. That was my fucking New Year's. And I sat there at one point, like, kind of depressed for like 20 minutes. Because I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm in Huntington Beach. I'm in a hotel with my wife and my daughter. My wife told me all 3 nights. She's like, you're gonna stay in? And all 3 nights I stayed in. I was gonna go out to watch the fight Saturday night. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why would I fucking want to go out? There's a way to watch on the computer. I gotta just figure it out. I called Lee. I got it on YouTube, and I was very happy just sitting there watching. I was content. It was the perfect end. Like, it was a vacation from the vacation,
Yeah.
Which I don't want to listen, we got on a plane for a living. So if you think a vacation for me is going to fucking Hawaii on a 6-hour flight and another 6-hour home, that's not a fucking vacation for me. That just reminds me of fucking work. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think there's so many, like Lee is right, there's a lot of places in California. Like, I'd like to go to Joshua Tree, but she gets sick.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that too.
I got sick on the way down.
I was going to ask you how she did this trip.
Listen to me. I don't do much with Mercy and my wife because we cannot drive distances. Because for years it was a fucking puke fest. And you got to pull over and change clothes. And then again, no puke. It was just fucking difficult. We had to take the car and get detailed. It was just a disaster. So we've been working it lightly. So Friday morning we get up. We get in the fucking car. 6:30, 7:30, you know us, man. We get up, bang, get in the fucking car, and we shoot down there. I feel great. I had a protein shake. I had been up for an hour. I was already packed when I went to bed that night. I was fine. For some reason, my wife wasn't feeling well. She kept saying, Joey, if I tell you I'm car sick, would you believe me? Meanwhile, the whole time, Mercy's singing. Some Elton John song came on. And that she knows from one of the fucking movies. Yeah. And she was singing it off the top of her lungs. And about 20 minutes out of whatever beach, Huntington Beach, where I finally broke down. Like, it was just horrible. Like, the last 10-minute ride on the 405, I don't know how I did it.
Wow.
I kept drinking water. I had both windows open. I had the air on blasting. And I could feel tingles all over my body. And finally we pulled over, and dog, I had to puke right here in my throat, okay?
Yep.
Right there in my throat. And every motherfucker wanted to stop at a yellow. I was ready to go through a fucking truck with the fucking car. Like, no, you did not stop at a fucking yellow light when I got parked. No, you did not stop at a fucking yellow light. And finally I just pulled into a street. And guys, let me tell you how bad my ear is at this point. That when I got out of the car, my leg gave out, and I just turned around and laid on the car for like 5 minutes, and then pushed myself back, put my neck down, and just barfed. And I barfed for like 2 minutes. I fucking wiped off my mouth with a towel. I washed my mouth out with water, and I opened up my jacket and took it off, and this cold sweat came out of me.
Oh, I hate that.
Just this cold sweat came on my body. My wife came out of the car. By that time, I was able to walk around the car and sit in the passenger side and face the street. People were washing their cars, changing tires. I'm sitting there fucking barfing.
Shit.
And I finally got back to the hotel, and they did something, and I told her I got to take a nap. That's what balances me back, is like an hour nap. Whenever I get that car sickness, it's over for an hour. Like this, when I opened up for Wheeler Walker 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when I got to San Diego, I had to take a nap. Thank God I got the hotel, and thank God I left early.
Did you get super car sick going to San Diego that time?
Not super duper, but enough.
Yeah.
Like when I got there, I knew there was going to be a fucking problem if I didn't get my life together. So I'd take a nap, get up, jump in the shower, eat something.
I get really car sick too.
Yeah.
Usually it's all right if I'm driving though. I remember when I first started working with you, like first time we got in the car to go to a gig somewhere together, I was just like, oh, I'll drive. I get car sick if I don't. And you were like, guess what? Me too, cocksucker. Yeah. I'm fucking driving.
Yeah, no. I can't fucking do it.
And it's weird because you go on Laurel Canyon 4 times a week, and that's really windy.
Yeah, I get sick on the bottom.
Okay,
By the time I
you do?
get to the bottom of Laurel Canyon, I flow.
Because the 405 is kind of straight at that point. So I'm very, knock on wood, very lucky. I never had to deal with this. So does it have anything to do with the windy, or it's just driving?
Has to do with everything, I guess. For me, it's just for years. Listen, I started out with it, but then for years it went away, and then it just recently came back in my old day. So you regress, maybe. I don't know. When I was a kid, I couldn't fucking go to the corner on a bicycle. I would get car sick on a fucking bike.
That bad?
I would get car sick on a boat. I remember still going to Miami one time and fishing and fucking passing out, and them trying to wake me up. The fish they caught, they were cooking it, and it was fucking delicious. And that what brought me back. That the fish that they handed me, this fish, it was breaking. I'll never forget that, being like a 7-year-old kid and eating the fish after I barfed everywhere on the deck, and the Sunday I had back on the fucking ship.
But your daughter was good. That's a good.
Yeah, she was perfect. She was perfect. And we were the ones that got sick. But I'm telling you, it's still a 50-50 toss, bro.
Yeah.
On the way this morning, she had breakfast. A little bit of breakfast. You know, half a banana and a strawberry. She didn't get sick, so I was happy about that. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about you, Agostino. How long have you been doing comedy for now?
It's going to be in February 9 years, I think.
9 years.
I started in 2009. February 2009.
Like, it's weird. Today I bumped into somebody at the park. Before I called you, I was at the park today with the baby and fucking, and I bumped into a guy at the park, and he goes, hey, how you doing? Our kids know each other, and we started talking about this and this. He told me his wife had a podcast, and that he was like a comic that never made the jump. You know, we broke it down, and then we just sat there. We watched the kids play, and he goes, can you explain to me how you did it? You know, like the beginnings. What made you believe? And I was like, I went to New York. You know, I was lost for 2 or 3 years in comedy. The first 2 or 3 years, I was really lost. I was just going to open mics. I didn't have a plan, even though I had read a book or two and had taken some comedy classes. I'd taken 1 class at that time. But I didn't really get the workload I was going to get, what was ahead of me before I jumped into it. I thought you just got on stage and got discovered, as I said in this podcast many times. I didn't know that there was work behind it. That, yeah, you could get discovered and you'll get put somewhere and then you'll fail because you didn't have the chops. And what was the sense of getting discovered?
Right.
So, you know, there's like a pattern. There's like a process. There's like a commitment level, you know, when I got to Colorado in 93, I knew I was going to be a comic. I knew I was set to be a comic. I never knew I'd be in L.A. and nothing like that. I just thought I'd be on the road. I thought I'd be one of those comics that just worked on the road. You know what I'm saying? That the success was working on the road. There was no TV credits. There was no film credits. It was just road work. That's what I thought I could accomplish, you know? So I attacked it. And at first, I just attacked it very wildly. I went on triple runs. And then when I was home, I'd just get on every open mic that I did, and there was nothing really going on with it. And then by the time I got to Seattle, in June of 95, was when I realized that I had to treat this as I would treat a business. And it went right back to my car salesman days. I went back to my car salesman days. At the beginning of the month, we're all zero. Me, you, and Lee, on the first of the month, we're all zero. And it's how we work the month. And now you start learning a path of how to work. Thank God I sold cars. You could do 2 of, okay, so I'll go to Lee and go, Lee, what do you need on the 31st of January? And Lee will go, I need $2,300. And I go, what do you need, Agostino? I need 3,200. And what do you need, Joey? I need 2,800. And you sit there and you analyze this. You go, how am I going to break this down into weeks? Because on the 15th, as a car salesman, you always get a draw. So you could sit on your ass for those 2 weeks. You don't really have to do much.
What does that mean, a draw?
A draw. They just give you 1,500. After a while, you develop a trust with them, and they'll just give you $1,500 instead of just taking all your car deals and everything. Fuck it. We'll just give you $1,500, and then at the end of the month, we'll wash you out. And I'm sure you'll make $1,500 plus, and then we'll give you the balance of your money on the 5th of the month. So what you tend to do is get lazy as a salesman. You know you got a check coming on the 15th.
Because you got that 1,500 already.
For $1,500 on the 15th. So you decide to go to work at the second half of the month. You get strategic. And even though I was on coke, and even though I was fucking young and stupid, I looked at the guys that were making money, and I figured out what they were doing. They were very strict about their time. They were very strict about their appearance. They were very punctual. They followed up. They had a pattern to follow up. You know, I would go into work and just fucking pull out the deal sheets I had and call people and go, Agostino, you still interested in that car? Come on down. No. These guys had a notebook with a time when they called them and what they said and notes. And when I started doing it that way, that's when I started. Last time we spoke, you were looking at the Volvo, Agostino. Did you pick up the Volvo? No. So I took that same plan, like that I was doing for car sales, and put it into comedy. And what the plan was basically was to, same thing. What do we need to make you a nut every month, Agostino? Now, you like selling what? New cars? That means you're going to make $150 a car and fucking whatever you get back from the dealer. So the dealer has you call the dealer after you sell the car, and either they give you $100 to $250. So if your average is going to be $150 to $100, that's $250 a car. What was your number?
His was 32.
32.
Yeah.
What's 250 into 32? Like 14 or something like that. You got to sell 14 cars. So how are we going to fucking sell 14 cars? That's 7 cars per quarter. First of all, you're not going to sell it on ups. Ups is fresh meat. You're going to do 50% of that business on ups. But they're going to be people that you spoke to the month before.
Follow it back with.
Yeah. And that's why your numbers have to be high. Your percentages have to be high. So you have to break it down into a business, just like that. So what do I need to sell 3? So it's 14 cars divided by 4 is fucking what? 4 cars a fucking week. You got to sell 4 fucking cars a week so your kids eat. So now what do? You got to be there the whole time. That's going to kill you. What good is having money if you don't have if you don't see your kids?
Right.
So your time becomes fucking valuable. So I took all those elements from car sales and I put them into, it took me 4 years, but I finally go, oh. So what did that mean? That meant that I kept records now. I took a notebook and I would put, in January 1st, I would put, okay, this year I'm going to do 300 fucking sets. Because I was living in Boulder, and in Boulder I was doing 16 sets a month, and I had to drive all over God's creation. I had to do triple runs to get 16 sets a month. In Seattle, I could get 20 sets a month just staying in Seattle and hustling. You could do the 3 clubs and guest sets and do 20 fucking sets without doing anything. So I figured to get really good at comedy, you need to do 300 sets a year. You know what 300 sets a year is? That's 25 fucking sets a month. That means if I go on the road all 4 fucking weeks, I'm only doing 20 fucking sets. I still got to work on my days off. But you can't do that. So what do? You count all these little fucking gigs as sets. That's why you do those 3-set nights, because you're like, ooh, I got that off my fucking back. You know what I'm saying? Even I always have goals when I'm in town. 3 sets a week. I don't want you out every night, but if you do 3 sets a week and 2 podcasts, I'm pretty fucking happy. If somebody gives me 2 spots on a fucking Tuesday, and I still got a Thursday and a Saturday, then I'm really fucking happy. I picked up 4.
Do you guys get the urge to does doing this spot make you want to do another one? Do you like multiple spot nights?
Absolutely. Especially if you're chasing a goal. If your goal is, you have set different type of goals. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to be funny and get comfortable on stage? That means you got to keep fucking going down there. Forget about the funny. Let's just get comfortable and learn how to set the mic down and all that. This is all baby steps that people never really look at these little things when it comes to comedy. But you could still do this. You could still apply these things, whether you're a computer tech or a plumber, whatever the fuck you are. You could still apply all these same things that I did from the car sales into the comedy to increase my comedy thing. And then it dawned on me, after about a year of comedy, I went to a Toyota place. And what that guy, that I've had him call into the podcast for like 1 year, we had him call in on the first day of the year to talk about goals. And it was the same thing. Now I go, wait a second. How do I get funny? How the fuck do I get funny? So how do I get funny? And then you have to write like 3 things under it. Get on stage, write funny material, and fucking you got to come up with a third one. And then every day go back to it and rewrite it. Like that's how strict my fucking work ethic was then with comedy. By the time I got to Seattle, I was making a living because I put all the things in order. What was a living? I was making $800 a month. And I would have to drive to Bremerton, to fucking Tacoma, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'd have to take a plane or drive long distances. The longest I would drive to was to the Tri-Cities, like to Spokane and all that out there. They have a comedy club out there now in Spokane. I can't go because of the warrant. But we're trying to get rid of the warrant. In fact, I got to call Greg and wish him a Happy New Year. But I just wanted to go over what your goals are at the 9-year mark.
Yeah.
Maybe to help you out and to help other comics or people who listen to the show. Just to go. I mean, and I was thinking about you Friday night. I went to dinner with one of my young agents.
Right.
How do you know?
Oh, you told me. We were talking on the phone.
But we were talking about you. Your name came up during the thing, and I'm like, that's really wild that he asked me about the Agostino, and he goes that he liked your set somewhere. You were really funny. I told him that you were a good writer. So I go, you know what, man? The Agostino's never quit. You know, you have your little day gig, but you're always putting together little hustles. I try to give you some work. Shuby gives you some work. Yeah. This guy gives you some work. And that's what you do. This is the life of the comic. This is where you're at right now. Mm-hmm. And if you freak out, you're freaking out for no reason because this is the life of the comic. Like when I met Simone, this is what you were Simone.
Oh, really?
And now Simone headlined last night at the fucking Minnesota, the Mall of America.
Yeah, he's been working a lot.
Is it Madison Square Garden? No, it isn't. But my point is that this is what you're looking at now. You have to sit down and go, all right, what do I want to accomplish this year? This year I want to do 30 more minutes. I want to do 4 spots a week, and I want to get into 6 new clubs and maybe book a commercial. Let's get really creative. Maybe book a commercial. Maybe in June I'll bump into a commercial agent. I'll take my headshot, and next thing you know, I'm in a fucking Tide commercial with some fucking Italians jumping up and down. Mom, where's my sweater? You know what I'm saying? Mom, where's my sweater?
And how do you, like, if there's a comedian out there listening, how are you guys realistic with where you are, like with your goals? Like if a 1-year comedian is doing his goals right now, he's like, oh, this year I want a headline. You might say that's not realistic. So
no.
Yeah, you definitely should keep realistic. I mean, you got to have realistic goals. I mean, it's not like I wouldn't want to have like a fucking special this year, but I mean, I know that that's not my list. Like, so I want to write.
Just on the outside looking in, like comedy looks very frustrating as a profession because there's really no guideline. There's no ranking. There's like it just kind of happens at everyone's individual pace. So to know, like, I know you have to be realistic, but maybe you're supposed to reach a little bit. So at 5 years, is that too early to want a headline? Like,
no. I know a lot of people who headline in 3 years.
Wow.
But let me ask you a question. What do you consider a headliner? a guy who does 45 minutes or a headliner?
Right.
Okay, so yes, there's people who they move up the ranks quickly. I was not one of those people. They move up the ranks a little bit too quickly, and they headline. But I go back to that Pennzoil commercial from the 90s. You could pay me now, or you could pay me later. You have to put the hours on the mat in. The same thing you do with jiu-jitsu, same thing you do with karate. All these arts, you have to put that time in. There's something about that time. Now, excuse me, what's time, Joey? Okay, let's pretend you are headlining. No TV credits, no nothing. Just funny guy. You got 45 minutes. I've heard your shit before. I'm not calling you a thief. I'm just saying that you know Johnny Originato.
Right.
But you got your moments, okay? And, yeah, you're working triple runs, you're doing one-nighters, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you're a headliner, but it's a different headliner. Now, let's say you get into one of the chains. And again, you still live in Oklahoma, but you work those chains. You're getting somewhere. You know what I'm saying? After 10, 12 years, you become a good headliner. But guess what? At the 20-year mark, you become a really fucking good headliner. You know, it's interesting. When we started the podcast today, we're speaking about Dave Chappelle.
Right.
And right now, you, Lee, there's a bunch of people that are young that think that Dave Chappelle had the Chappelle Show and he came from that. The Chappelle Show was what, 2000?
I'll look it up around that time, yeah.
This was a long time ago.
2000, what is it?
First episode aired 03.
03, okay. I know Chappelle banging it in 93. I remember Chappelle being in that movie, Robin Hood Men in Shorts.
Men in Tights, yeah.
Men in Tights. And, you know, he had development. When I was doing comedy 4 years, Chappelle was already on his way to be a star. They just couldn't find the right vehicle.
He was in The Naughty Professor, wasn't
he? He was doing movies.
He was in Con Air.
But they were trying to put him in a fucking TV show. ABC gave him deals. He had a bunch of fucking deals. And if I'm not mistaken, he even shot a few pilots. He had a pilot with somebody. Greg Kinnear, somebody he had a pilot with. They just could not find the perfect. And look, he found it with Neil Brennan in a sketch comedy black show, telling the truth. You know, stories telling the truth. Charlie Murphy, you know. So he turned the whole culture around. I mean, if you look at his shows, it's not fucking black people jumping up and down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It's not black people all jumping up and down. So let's look at a guy like that. He's been doing comedy since the 80s. Mid-80s, late 80s. You know, he's not this good because he just got up. He's been in there for 30 years, guys. He's been in there for 30 years.
What did you... I mean...
That's experience.
It is experience. And that's not... I don't want to...
I haven't seen the Comedy Store special.
But the first one...
I saw the first one.
Where he opens up talking about how good he is was very interesting.
Which is fucking tremendous because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Okay? It was very brilliant. As I was looking at it, sitting there going to myself, the way he's saying it, he's stealing the show. He's not lying either.
Yeah.
He's not lying. He's that good. He's not lying. He knows he has a set. He mesmerizes you.
Right.
He mesmerizes you like no comic has in the last 20 years. He has a different persona to him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To the regular black man, you know, to the regular white man, he looks like a harmless black dude. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what his appeal is. He appeals to me. He's a very sweet guy. And like I said, I saw the first special, and I didn't watch the whole thing because I was tired. Mm-hmm. You know, like I always say, you can watch 30 minutes and then you got to go to fucking bed. And it was just great to see that. But I know that body of work took 30 fucking years. You know, that took 30 fucking years. a lot of people at home they think he probably just gets up the same way I thought about stand-up. I thought you just got up and fucking,
Yeah, you had it or you didn't.
Yeah, that's it. No.
Yeah, no, it just takes
there's tons
building.
of work in this league. There's tons of work, patience, eating shit, taking shit, sleeping on floors, sleeping on beds, your buddy making you drive at 1 PM and sitting in a strange town for 6 hours with nothing to do. There's just 1,000 fucking things that you sit there and go, what the fuck am I doing with my life? But this is your passion. Maybe this is one of your final I know it was my last frontier. There was nothing more past this. So right now you're at the 9-year mark. You're featuring.
Yeah.
Right? And what are you looking for this year? Like, what is a guy like you looking for?
First of all, like for this year, I wrote a couple things down. You need a pen?
Yeah.
I don't like doing like New Year's resolutions. You know what I mean? I feel like that's just setting your, like you were saying, like dieting is never going to work. It's a lifestyle change. It's like the same thing. New Year's resolutions, they don't fucking work. I just write things down that just makes me keep more organized and just cross them off one by one. So a couple of things on the list is, I just want to get more spots. I am in a place where I'm seeing guys that have been doing it less time than me or the same amount of time as me. And they just get way more spots than I do. I'm sure that they're out there way more than I am, and I just feel like I kind of hit like a wall, and I want to just maybe kind of start getting into acting now. Like you said, maybe get a commercial agent. That's one thing that I want to do this year.
Right. At the 9-year mark for me, it was I started in 91. So what's 9 years? 2000? Mm-hmm. By 2000, I was doing comedy. Yeah, 9 years. I had a fucking shitty manager. I had a shitty agent. I was pulling in 80% of the work myself. You know me, I'm a fucking killer when it comes to that shit. I was getting breakdowns, and I can't now. I lied to you about a manager. From about 98 to 2000, 2001, I had a great manager. He was just more aggressive than what I needed at the time. I wasn't that good. He knew how to fucking take you, make you an actor, get you a deal, and then put you on the road with the right people. He was born and raised, he was a Beverly Hills kid. He was just a tough Jew. And he had a temper, and he would yell at people and hang up phones and tell people to go fuck themselves. But on the other side, he wasn't scared to pick up the phone, which was why I loved him. He called anybody and tried to muscle him at any fucking time. Like, listen, man. And he was very intelligent. Before he made the call, he'd get very knowledgeable about the subject, break it down and call you and say, Agostino, these are the facts. 2 years ago, your show on ABC was this demographic. What you need is more little rich in character. Why don't you come see my man Joe Diaz at the Improv tonight at 8:30? Put him on your show. Let's write him into episode 4. We could still save the fucking season. He was one of those type of Jews. You know what I'm saying? So that was impressive. That he would call you up on a Monday and go, listen, Thursday night, put together 7 minutes about gambling. I'm trying to get you on this show on HBO. I'm having the writers come down, and next thing you know, you're talking to the writers, and they're telling you what direction. But at least you're getting to talk to the people who are putting the show together. He got right to the source. He didn't go to the producers. He went right to the writers. If he had a problem, then he went to the producer. And he said, your show sucks. Here's what you need to save your show. Lee Syatt is a magician. And fucking Agostino is a pizza maker that's backwards and shit. He's half retarded. That'll make a fucking show. He was one of those type of managers. I got with him. I booked basketball.
Okay.
And I booked something else. But I really worked as a comic.
Was that in 2000?
I think basketball was 98. When I met him, I had just booked the pilot for CBS. He didn't close the deal. He made me work for a little while. And I booked something like a commercial. I booked like a Coke commercial. And he saw it. And he called me. He goes, hey, I saw you in a Coke commercial. Come on down. Let's talk next week. So I'll never forget that before he spoke to me, he called a few agents to try to get me meetings, and nobody wanted to see me. except one fucking agent. Okay, I learned a valuable lesson this day. And he goes, meet me at such and such place. He bought me lunch, and he goes, here's what's going on. I reached out to 13 agents, and he gave me their names, and he goes, none of them wanted to meet with you. He goes, I got one person who's in love with you. Let's go see. And I go, what's her name? And he told me, I forget what her name was. This is 99, maybe. And, you know, when you're looking for an agent, you want to be going the other direction on Sunset. You know what I'm saying? Towards Beverly Hills, towards towards the Comedy Store. You know what I'm saying? We met somewhere, and instead of getting in the car and making a right, he made a left. I'm like, where the fuck are we going? And next thing you know, he's making a left on Highland. This is 98. He's making a left on Highland.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, a 98 Highland was beat the fuck up. Well, before you hit that thing where they have parking there, like that little circle.
Yes.
Okay, before you hit that circle, that whole area was perversion and crack. Right there, I would go to 3 days a week and sell pornos on the phone. When I moved here, there was a job that I paid $8 an hour. And you go there, and every day was a new set of freaks. If you stayed the day, they gave you an extra $10 bonus. I would send you down there. It was fun. I learned how to sell shit. I worked there for as long as I could, which was about 4 weeks. And I sold pornos on the phone.
To who?
To fucking
people that watch pornos.
People
fucking
watch
birds,
pornos
bro.
and fucking
The individuals, not the stores?
yeah. They give you a list of names and you call stores. Hey, how
So
you
what's
doing?
the pitch like?
Hey, how you doing? The Agostino here from whatever films. You know, I'm gonna call you and see if you've seen a new inventory. What do you got? Tell me what you got.
so
We got
creepy.
fucking sex on sex with midgets. We got people vomiting on each other. I would never even watch the movies. I would just take the names. And they'd say, yeah, send me 3 or 4. We have an account with you already. Thanks for calling. Yeah, you're my new account. Because people quit all the time. But in there, I remember coming out of there one day, walking, coked out, like from the night before.
Yeah.
Just showing up because I had nowhere else to talk to. I was living right there in Hollywood, and I was getting checks from a Taco Bell commercial. And there was 2 hotels that were cousins. You could stay there for 10 days, and then they asked you to leave. But you had to go to the other one. Then after 10 days, you go back to the other one. But you couldn't stay longer than 10 days. And since I lived there, I didn't want to go. At that time, 65 Sunset, that building was all telemarketing. You go in there and you get a job that day, $10 an hour selling fucking insurance or something like that. I wanted to sell porn on commission. I went up there. I had money, so I didn't give a fuck. I had Taco Bell money.
Oh, shit.
So I was going up there just to fuck around, and the guy was making 80, 90 a day. But I still remember one day walking out of there and buying coke. Like, that's how bad that street was. And in that street, there's a middle building. It's still there. There's a building. That building was filled with garbage. Telemarketing scams, all that shit. On the 4th floor was an agency. And I still remember walking into the hallway and looking up and the ceiling tile being removed and going, this is the fucking agent that wants to sign me? I was like embarrassed. I was like heartbroken. Like all his clients were with top-notch fucking agents and nobody wanted to sign me except this fucking little 5'2" Jewish ball of fire from Chicago that didn't give a fuck, that wore blue fucking shadow shit over her eyeballs. And she'd sit there all day just pitching you on the fucking phone like an animal. And I was like, I don't know. I'll get back to you over the holiday. She seemed fucking stern, Jack. She was like, listen, if you sign with me, this is how we do shit here. And I was like, bro, we're in a fucking building that sells crack. What the fuck are you talking about? I walked, I don't forget how heartbroken I was. And then something happened, and I had to sign with her. And she fucking worked, guys. This lady was a fucking worker. She would get me out 3 days a week for everything. And I was on fire with her. I forget the shit I booked. She got me and analyzed that, fucking Spider-Man 2.
Wow.
Fucking that movie, a lot of TV. If you look at my IMDb, a lot of that TV from 99 to 2003 was her. Then she snapped. because her parents owned the fucking refrigeration kingdom in Chicago. They were millionaires, so she snapped, went back. Then they gave her a bunch of money. Something happened. They're trying to make her find the husband. Who the fuck?
Did you go right away to a different agent when she left?
Yeah.
Like right away you had someone that wanted you, but that went so fast.
No. You still got to go down to Samuel French and get the agent book and fucking get your picture and type up a resume and put them all in there and type up a cover letter, write up a cover letter by hand to show them that you're an animal.
Is that how it works still today?
That's the only way I would do it.
Huh.
So, like, Diaz, can you like describe what you're going through right now? Like maybe like just be, like what it's like trying to get an agent or a manager without when you don't have one.
I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I've never tried. Even for stand-up, I've never had an agent. I've never had a manager. I mean, when you were at the 9 Point, you had one already, I guess, huh?
Well, I was here, and there were things going on, so that I needed one to help me get acting stuff. That's why I went with her. I had no choice but to go with her because Jeff, who was my manager at the time, he had a system to working things. Okay, when he would get up in the morning, Jeff would get up at 5 a.m. and he would look through the breakdowns where all the jobs would be. So by 6:30, and there would be 50 pages of breakdowns, guys.
Jesus.
And he knew all his clients in his head, and you just go through all these sheets and circle the clients that you want for auditions. You just circle, and then most people do what traditional people do, what I did. You take a headshot, you put a resume in there, and you put a cover letter, and pray for the best. Pray that she actually opens it and takes your headshot out. But people like that could send a picture messenger. She has to sign for it, which means she'll open it, and then they call. If you look at a lot of breakdowns, they'll always say on top, "We do not accept calls." That's for fucking people who believe that shit. To get your clients in there, you gotta call. If you don't call, you're not gonna get your clients in there. You gotta call and see what's going on. This is who we have for this. Who's the Agostino? He just moved here from Italy. You know, it doesn't matter. He's perfect for the role. You're gonna love him.
So Taco Bell was 94? What did you say, 98?
Taco Bell was like 98.
So you were
97, 98.
7-8 years in a stand-up, you already did a commercial.
I was in stand-up. Yeah, I got here in 97, and I had been doing stand-up 6.5 years, 7 years. But as soon as I got here, that was the one thing. I got signed to the best commercial agent in town. Sutton, Barton, Minari at the time were top-notch, all across the board. And brother, it was like I signed with them like on a Tuesday. It took like a week. I got like 1 or 2, and then it took off. Like if you didn't book with them, you're not going to have a future here because nobody did a better job. It didn't stop. I had a pager in those days. Rogan has spoken about it, Ari and all those guys. I had a pager in those days. In those days, this is how your day started. From 6 at night to about 8, you'd get a page or a call. Hey, Agostino, how you doing? Mike Odell, Sutton, Barton, Minari. Are you going in tomorrow for Tide? 10:45, Santa Monica, 5th Street. Yeah, dress with a red shirt. Okay, thank you. Boom. That's it. You got a 10:45. That's how your day started. So when you went out that night to do comedy, you knew you had to go home early. You got to go home early and get some sleep because you had to be at Santa Monica, 5th Street at fucking 10:45. You get up, boom, eat breakfast, shoot down to Santa Monica, walk in there about 10 o'clock. You know, get in there early and get the fuck out of there so you get the rest of your day going. You go down there, you read. By the time you walk out of there to your car, you get another page from them. Where you at? I'm walking out of Taco Bell. All right, take the car and go to Ocean Drive. You got a 12:15. And you're like, fuck, 12:15? I came down here at 10. I was doing the right thing, so they got to sit down there. That's why you bring a book, a movie, whatever. And then I went to the other place. And then when you walked out of there, you got in your car and you made it all the way back to Hollywood. And by the time you make it back to Hollywood, maybe an hour later, you get another page. Where you at? Hollywood. Perfect. Go down to 200 South La Brea. They're looking for a plumber for a fucking Geico commercial. And you went over by Petco on La Brea.
Yeah.
On top of that, there's auditioning up there. And you went there, parked your car. You couldn't park in the parking lot. The fucking side street is 4 to 6. And the fucking front is fucking a quarter for 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? It's a quarter for 3 seconds. By the time you turn around, your quarter's gone. And there's a black chick with a fucked up hairdo with donuts on her hair fucking giving you a $52 ticket. So it's torture, dog. It's torture. It's a horrible living. Because sometimes you go upstairs and you forget to come down and put a quarter in the meter, and you come out and you got a $52 fucking ticket. All that shit where you go for auditions is heavy duty ticketing. So you better have $10 in quarters in your fucking car at all times.
I only ever wanted to be a stand-up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never reached out to try to get a commercial agent ever. And
I didn't either. But the problem is that it's the back door.
Right.
And sometimes you have to go through the back door to get to the front door. You know, so that was the way I looked at it. My strategy was, I came here and I was already a regular at the store. That really fucking helped me. So that put me in the other 2 clubs, kind of, sort of. Jamie let me do Monday nights, and the Improv gave me 1, maybe 2 spots a week if I was lucky. So from the store, I worked that angle. Like I would just, but you have to, it was a different time then. It wasn't 9/11 yet. Before 9/11 and a little after 9/11, security tightened. And casting agents won't let you go into Sony no more. Like there was a time I could walk up to the Sony gate and I could have an envelope and go, "Hi, I'm here to see Carol Witherspoon. What's your name?" "Joey Diaz. I just want to drop this off. I don't need to see it. It's for an audition." And the guard knew you from a different audition, and he'd let you in. And you go to her office and drop the envelope off, and the casting assistant would see you, and she'd go, "Who are you?" "I'm the Agostino. I'm here to drop this off for the role of Rudy. I just saw it in the breakdowns. I thought I would be good for it." And she'd look at you and go, "That's great. Leave me your number. If you leave your number, you get an audition."
So that doesn't happen anymore. People don't go down there.
I don't think people have the spunk to do that anymore.
So it's not that it's frowned on to do it.
No. Listen, as a casting director, your job is to book that job with the right person. You don't give a fuck where you find them. If I felt that aggressive, and I gotta tell you something, I went after maybe 12 roles aggressively, and I probably got 8 of them. The percentages were high. You know, maybe in casting they decided to make the guy black or thin, or they wanted to go with a more seasoned actor, somebody who got a little bit of a name. But all those angles I took, like I would drop off like I remember dropping off an envelope one time for Arliss and getting a call that afternoon and booking it. And it ended up being an episode with James Coburn.
Wow.
You know, the tape went to producers, and one of my friends from the Comedy Store was a producer. So it was an envelope I dropped off. That's a different type of mind game. That's to keep yourself busy. See, when you slip and fall with a Jew attorney and they're trying to sue somebody, they'll tell you got to go to the doctors every day. You start going to therapy or anything you could go to the scam because you're putting the time in, you're punching in.
Yeah.
The same applies to this career that we have. The more you punch into something, the more you get from it. If somebody's giving a free acting class at North Hollywood High School from 6 to 9 and you can make it, make it. I'd go for free and get the basics than fuck around and pay $200. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The little more you take,
especially if you just want to dabble a little bit anyway.
You don't need to be, you don't need to be Olivier to book shit. I was no Olivier when I booked the Taco Bell commercial and made me fucking money that I'd never seen before. You know, when I booked the pilot for CBS, I was no fucking Olivier. You know, I was just a regular fucking schmo. I had a look they liked, even though it's a fucked up look. You know, I adhered to their role and I lucked out, you know. I could play like a pimp, I could play a gangster, I could play an Italian fucking hitman, I could play a fucking pizza man, I could play a garbage man like I done on SVU. You know, there's so many fucking things I could do. They just are so specific. You get a lot more work than I did at that age. At your age right now, you get a lot more auditions than I would get when I got here. Because when I got here, I was 30-something fucking years old. I was already long in the tooth by their standards.
And what about the guy who's got the day job and, just wants to be a stand-up comic, so that's what he does at night. And so now he wants to get into acting, commercial, just to get some work that way. I mean, if they're paging you 3 times in a day, there's no day job anymore.
No.
You got to let go of it.
You're non-union, right? So you would get a lot of work in the beginning to season you up. You would just get a lot of work, man. Like I say, the more involved you are, the more chances you got of going on a roll. There's nothing like going on a roll until you're in it. Like, there's a guy I used to train with that went on a fucking 3-month roll. Listen, it may never happen to him again, or he may stay like this for a long time. But going on a roll is shooting a job, taking a week off, shooting another job, taking a week off, shooting a job. Then it starts to be a job every week. Like, I booked 4 national commercials 4 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row on a Thursday, I shot a national commercial.
Wow.
That is crazy. For me, that's crazy. But, excuse me, I was very lucky. There's people in Hollywood that shoot a commercial every week. And you see them. You guys that watch TV see these people. That are the same commercial actors and everything. They shoot every week, bro. Because let me tell you something. You shoot every week because half the shit you shoot don't get picked up.
That is scary. I mean, it's scary just to thinking about how much time and money is spent on things that people will never see. Like, that's another thing that must... Like, we always talk about people who left. But, like, I don't think we consider, like how terrible some things must be to deal with. Like, can you imagine? Like, I know Bill Burr had a show canceled. He left and came back, but... Like that like there must be things that happen to you throughout your career that would just make you want to go home.
Nothing makes you really want to go home if this is what you really want to do. I mean, do you know what I'm saying? If this is what you really want to do, you know the process, you know the deal, you've heard the fucking stories. This isn't something that, just came to you. This is part of the process. You just don't take your ball and go home when it starts raining. You just don't take your ball and go home. You wait for the rain to fucking end. You're going through a bad streak. And unless you're getting blown by fucking people on a peep show for $2 a night, unless they're torturing you in Koreatown or something like that, and you're sucking fucking Japanese dick in Koreatown, it's not that bad here. There's always an existence here. I don't give a fuck what you tell me. There's always a job somewhere that you could be a fucking busboy, and somebody's always got a couch in this town. You know why? Because I did it for the first 4 or 5 years I was here. Thank God for people like Ralphie May and Josh Wolf and others that let me fucking, go fucking hand to mouth on a daily basis. But let me tell you something. I never sat there all day either. I always hustled, brother. I always dropped off an envelope. I was always somewhere trying to write a joke. And I was on stage every fucking night. I didn't have a child. I had a girlfriend sometimes. I had no responsibility. And I didn't want a responsibility. I did comedy for a living. And that's how I thought. That was my brain. I didn't care about holidays. I didn't care about New Year's. I didn't care about seeing people. I sacrificed that part of my life for years to do comedy. I would call the store in those days Sunday to Sunday. These last 2 weeks, I would get spots 7 nights a week at the store. I was always at the store. But I wouldn't get to the store till midnight. So what are you going to do till midnight? Sit at your house, you'll fall asleep. So I would go to Willie Barcenter's rooms and all those rooms. Yeah. And just sharpen up, fly, and, And there's still those rooms out there. Those rooms are there. I'm just not hip to it because they don't call no more because, I'm not going to go to one of those fucking shoot 'em up rooms no more. Unless it's like a friend of mine who I really trust and like.
I go out a lot during the week. I know about all those rooms. I mean, I'm doing those spots and... there's just something, like I probably shouldn't feel this way, but like, you're going on like Twitter or something or Instagram, you start seeing like everything from the night before, just like you just feel like I'm missing out on stuff. There's always comics that are doing something that are better than me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like I've hit a wall here where like people know me, but they don't. I occasionally get spots at the store. They're giving me like once a month, and now like not anymore. And so I mean, I just, like you said, I think that I have to go through the back door now. I've hit a point where I gotta switch something up. I gotta go in another way.
Let's talk about the back. Greetings from Podcastville. The Church of What's Happening Now is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Listen, a fresh new year has begun, and if you're setting new goals for your business, it's extremely difficult to reach them without the right people on your team. ZipRecruiter has transformed how you go about finding them. ZipRecruiter posts your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards with just one click. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by businesses of all sizes and industries to find the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, today, the church family can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/church. That's that's ZipRecruiter.com/church. One more time, I messed that one up. That's ZipRecruiter.com/church. Get the best talent available to you right now. Number 2, you know what your number 2 New Year resolution should be? I'm going to wash my ass more. This year, I'm going to have my ass tip-top magoo 4 times a day, because from time to time I put my hand down there and I'm scared to wave it because fucking birds will come down. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got Hello Tushy. Go to HelloTushy.com and use code CHURCH for 10% off your order. Why walk around with a filthy fucking asshole and nuts stinking like a dead man when you could have a portable bidet right in your house? You could use it even if you don't shit. Like sometimes you're just in the mood to wash your balls. You could dip your nutsack into that bidet, turn that nice little cold water on, soap them up with that new water, that new soap, that liquid soap, and sponge them with like a fucking loofah. You know what happens to your nuts? Tip-top magoo. You gotta pay, people be paying you to suck your fucking nutsack. Go to HelloTushy.com right now and press in church for a 10% discount. 60-day money-back guarantee. 99 wanted to fucking sign me for comedy. And develop me. There was a rare, then it went away. It went away because I had a pitch. And the pitch was okay until HBO said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going into the holidays. So the guy from CA liked me until that went away. That was what happened. But at that time, I realized Montreal wasn't going to, the dirty show, that was all bullshit. They were not going to give me a shot. So I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? And I was sick and tired of going to movies, just like stand-up. One day you keep going to your local club, and they're booking these fucking morons. And one day you just go, fuck this. I'm going to disappear for a month, and I'm going to go get really good and come back and rock. I mean, that's exactly what you do.
Yeah.
And now you're getting work there. But the same thing happens with stand-up. How do you become a stand-up? You're watching TV, and you go, what the fuck? I'm funny in this fucking asshole. And that's it. But with acting, the same thing happens. How many times are you in a movie and you go, wait a second, I could have done this wrong.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, I was pissed watching Analyze This. The first one, I went on a date, and I remember her asking me, like, after an hour, why is that look on your face? And I was like, no, nothing. The light's bothering me or whatever. I was just angry because I was living here and I didn't know about any of this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I was pissed about it. And let me tell you what else Uncle Joey did that I think I mentioned on the podcast one time. I had this goofy manager. Goofy. Good dude, though. Good dude. Solid. I still talk to him. I wasn't with him at this time. I was with Jeff Gellin. And I'm in New York City. And I'm just doing like Rascals. I'm doing The Old Governors when it was a fucking armpit. This is 98, 99. I'm doing, Jesus Christ, I'm doing like shit gigs for Roger Paul, one-nighters and stuff. And I was at with Loops. And I'm in Jersey. I'm eating Chinese food. I'm there for like 4 days. And I go into the city and I drop off a tape for something, some TV show that Gatlin told me to. Then he called me the next day. He goes, "You have another reel?" And I go, "Yeah." And I dropped it off at some other place. And then one day, guess who fucking calls me? My old manager. He goes, "Hey, man, I just got off the phone with this lady. She wants you to drop a tape off for this new show, The Sopranos." I go, "What is it, about singers? About opera singers?" And he goes, "I really don't know. I think it's something to do with the mafia or something like that." And that's a tape I didn't drop off. But you know what difference would I have made, you know? I hadn't booked shit like that before. I didn't really know the variables of going in there. Later on, I went in for The Sopranos, but at that time. But the first thing I did was, I'll never forget, I was in a fucking hotel room in Dallas, Texas. And it was Sunday morning. And I was on fire. I was on fire. I was at the store every fucking night with Joe Rogan and Eddie Griffin and Andrew Dice Clay and Paul Mooney and Doug Stanhope, and it just got me sharp. Like, I had been on the road for 9 months. You know, I went on the road, I left in 99 and came back in 2000. I used to be one of those assholes. There was a big shootout here. People, if you hear sirens and helicopters, we heard about, 8 or 9 fucking gunfights here. So, you know, I don't know, by the train. It could have been by the train station. So, it was a fucking weak dog when I went to Dallas. And I don't want to say the headline I was working with, but I was fucking burying him. I was just burying them, guys. And it was getting obvious. It was starting to get obvious. It was starting to get obvious. And all I had was like 35.
Did any part of you think about toning it down?
Not even close. This was Dallas, Texas. And I was going on there before this guy and just burying him. But I was doing blow. I was eating like a savage, you know. I didn't really give a fuck. And I'll never forget waking up in a hotel room that Sunday morning and all those, like, I woke up like from the coke a little pissed off. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm here taking orders from this fucking mutt. He's probably getting $3,000 for the week, and here I am getting a small fucking $750, you know, with no fucking plane ticket. And I gotta stay and do an extra show on Sunday for the handicap or something like that. It's some fucking, you know, some bullshit. You know, you like wonder, what the fuck is my career going? I mean, I'm very fortunate to have this feature work, but this is bullshit. I could be fucking knocking him out of the park. He ain't doing nothing special. Ain't nobody coming to see him.
Yeah.
Nobody coming to see this fucking fool, you know?
It's not like he's a headliner.
No, and he was a headliner, but still nobody was going to see him.
And he's getting 15, and you're getting 5.
500, and they barely want to give me that. I'll never forget, I came home and I borrowed $500 from Josh Wolf. Like $500, and I went to the suit place.
The Hollywood Suit Outlet.
I got 3 suits for $200, and I went to Ivana Chubbuck and signed up for acting classes. And I gave her the rest of the money. And I said, I'm not going on the road. I'm just going to take acting classes. And I went to acting class. This is how I did the back way, if you really want to know. I went to acting classes, and I still did stand-up at night, but I focused heavy on what they were talking about. And again, I started talking to people in acting classes, and here are these people paying $200 a month times 3, because they're going to 3 different things a month for classes, for training, and they're not even working. They're being told they're not even perfect for work. And I'm looking at these guys going, are these fucking kids serious? Like, I'm telling you, you're paying me money, and I'm telling you, D'Agostino, and your lead, that you're not ready to go to work on film and TV. I'm like, I'm appalled. So even though I was in Ivana Chubbuck the first 2 or 3 weeks, I was doing good scenes. Like, my first scene was a scene from Carlito's Way, when the attorney goes to see the mobster, when Sean Penn goes to see the mobster, how to play the mobster. And they don't want you to say it, they want you to say it verbatim, but they want you to be your own character. And I remember when I got off that fucking stage, dog, those people in there were shaking my hand like I was fucking Hemingway, like I was some fucking tremendous actor. I was just a dirty comic. I didn't know nothing about fucking acting, and right there, I'm like, wait a second. And that's what I heard. They're shooting Analyze too. I'd gone for an audition for some fucking movie, and this is how it started. I went for an audition for some fucking movie that I was not right for. As I was reading the line, I kept thinking about that dude, the Mexican dude that started in Narcos, the first season. He was the chubby dude with the hat. Luis
Gomez?
No.
Yeah, no. Right. Yeah.
No. Whatever his fuck. I was in his pilot. I shot his pilot.
Yeah. Guzman. Man.
Luis Guzman. I shot his pilot for Fox. But as I was reading for this movie, I could read Luis Guzman. I'm like, this is Luis Guzman's role. Why am I wasting my time? And at the end of the read, the lady said, that was a good read, but you're not right for this role. I go, thank God you thought the same way. This is for a Mexican person. And she goes, yeah. She goes, but you're going to be right for my next movie. And I go, what's your next movie? She goes, I analyzed that part too. That was it, dog. I go, so what do I need to be in that? And she goes, stay in touch with me. Send me anything you work on. Anything you book, send me a copy of the tape. I was like, you got it. And I went to work, Jack, and I booked a mafia thing. A gay mafia thing. And I booked that, and I took the clip from that immediately and sent that over to her. And then I booked something else.
Is that when you play the gay guy?
Yeah.
You guys are burying the body in the cemetery?
Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
I booked something else that was mafia themed. And I got a copy of it and sent it to her immediately. And then I got the call one day, bam. You're auditioning for Analyze That, but in New York. Dog, I couldn't get to fucking San Jose. I didn't have a dime to get to fucking New York.
Don't you go to New York to audition?
Yep. And there's no flight. I could put a gig together when I was there to make $100 at Rascals, but not enough to cover my fucking airfare or make me a millionaire or nothing like that. And I had to sleep on somebody's floor, you know. So a friend of mine from the old days reached out, and he goes, I got a plane ticket for you on fucking Frontier Airlines, one of those fucking hell airlines. You gotta stop in Denver, and they chase your luggage over. By the time I got to New York, they lost my luggage. I had to go buy a warm-up suit and sneakers.
They didn't do like audition tapes back then?
No, you had to show up to book these movies. And then they wanted you to stay to talk to the director. Because you're not getting fucking booked in this movie until you talk to the director.
So you were like high. You were like at least being considered then at this level, right? They're not going to fly. They're not going to tell 30 people to fly to New York.
No.
Right?
There was no... I wouldn't tape it. An opportunity like that, I wouldn't tape it. I want to be in the fucking room.
I don't think a lot of people were flying
I
to New
want to
York.
know... I want to make sure that if I don't get this, I didn't get this because it was me. I don't want to get this because I sent the tape. I want them to meet me. I want them to see me walk into the room. I want them to see my patois, my je ne sais quoi. You know what I'm saying? As they say in fucking France. So that was my big thing.
Where did you learn that? Like things like, I want them to see me walk in. Like, where did you...
Just
you're a
think about
stand-up
it.
comic. Like,
Just think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Well, what do I get? What essence do I get from watching you on tape?
no, yeah, for sure. Like, yeah.
It's probably cut down by at least half, if not more.
But little things like,
You
I
know
want
what
them
I'm
to
saying?
get my presence.
How can I, even though you make a fantastic fucking stand-up HBO hour special, how can I really book you for a $30 million feature, no, an $85 million feature next to Will Smith without making you come in? You're going to send me a tape to encourage me to make you come in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the tape you sent to me for me to go, okay, make him come in and read.
But most people that reside in New York were going for that audition, right?
Right.
You just went because she liked you for that.
Yeah.
It's important to stay in touch. Like, do you think a lot of actors have been in that situation and then just didn't send her anything?
If you go to my email olds, the last 2 pages is all cast directors I've kept in touch with over the years. Like they all got a Merry Christmas and shit from me this last. Like even though I haven't seen them. Over the years, you develop relationships with these casting people. But back to the Agostino situation. So that's once I went to acting class, the Agostino. Yeah, I learned a little bit how to act, but I didn't go in there to learn how to act. I learned how to get work as an actor. Again, I wanted to see what they were doing. You know, you go behind the Comedy Store or any comedy club in any country, there's a circle of comics. And they talk about what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. And you go back there 10 years later and they're still there. Hey, how
talking
you doing?
about it.
Yeah, I just auditioned for Aspen. You're like, that's great. You know, keep sending tapes and shit because you did it. You didn't sit there and talk about it. And when you go to acting classes in Hollywood, like at this point I had been to maybe 2 acting classes. Ivana Chubbuck is considered high level. There's her and Leslie Kahn. They're considered high level. There's a few others that have popped up over the years. In fact, somebody sent you a link to one lady the other day. And it was intensive acting or whatever. But I went to Ivana Chubbuck to begin a class. And that's what I went to do. I didn't go to learn how to act. I went to talk to these other fucking kids to see if they were working. And guess what? None of them were working. They were all petrified of stepping out of that fucking comfort zone of that acting class. And I'll never forget being at a party one night and sitting at a bar, coked up, and there was a guy and another guy and a chick talking. And the guy goes, so what's going on with you? And he goes, well, tomorrow we're doing the scene from Rain Man in acting class. And they were so excited. Like, really? An acting class? Oh my God, that's so thrilling. I hope the teacher, I hope she really sees you for what you are. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God. So they become career acting class people. They just pay the $275 a month. They go down there, they do the acting classes, and they buy into it that they're learning the method and the whole thing. Meanwhile, I'm seeing this, and I find out about the breakdowns. And I go, okay. So you look at the breakdowns, it's the same thing as anything else. You see a job you think you're perfect for, get the address, get that fucking phone number, go down there, drop the fucking package off, and then call them an hour later and ask them if they want to see you, or if they liked what you drop off, or if they want to see tape. I always created the opportunity to go back there. You forgot something. Don't give them everything. Give them one piece at a time. If you bring the tape in your resume, that's it. They don't need to see you again. But if you bring your resume, he'll look at you and go, what happened to your tape? I didn't know you wanted one. Well, come back with a tape. Boom. Even though he's mad at you, you're going to come back, and guess what's going to happen? You're going to come back. He's not going to be there, but his assistant's going to be there. And she knows you from the barbecue joint when you do comedy there. She always thinks you're cute and shit. So guess what? You just got an audition. Because you forced yourself to go back there a second time. It's all numbers. When it comes to acting, it's a complete different animal. It's how many times they see you before that audition. But guess what? If you see something or you hear something that you're right for, you really got to raise your hand and attack it in the acting world. Because they're not going to find you. They're not going to find you. Your manager and your agent are going to get you in for so much. I know for a fact, for me, when it came to acting, I hustled 60% of those jobs. I still remember booking Cold Case out of the computer. Cold Case, I booked from the fucking computer. At that time, it was on Showfax. Whatever that is. It's a thing for actors. I'm still on there now. I haven't paid in a while. But I'm still on there.
Like those casting websites that say you might be right for this type of stuff.
If you pay $69 a month, $69 a year. In those days, I got it for the whole year. And you'd fucking submit from there. And let me tell you something. There was a movie I booked from there that I got fired from, but I got the money anyway. And there was that, for sure, that I remember. And there was Cold Case on CBS. The episode of Disco Inferno.
Yeah.
I booked that from the computer.
How many work do you think actually gets generated from sites like that? Do you think people actually get work like that, or you just got lucky a couple times? Do you think that's kind of just like bullshit and people don't really get stuff out of that?
No, I think that casting assistants look into that. They don't really look at it like very thoroughly. They skim through it, and they go look at your resume and shit like that really fast. By that point, I was getting jobs already. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, you always have to. With acting, it's scamming. It's always going back. Oh, you want me to bring you a tape? You ever go to the comedy club? Yeah. I'll swing by and drop off 4 tickets to the comedy store. Vinny Curto, who I speak about on the podcast, where I had on the church. When I first moved here, I bumped into him at the comedy store, and he said he had a role for me in one of his movies. I just met the guy. I had seen him on Miami Vice. I saw him in a movie named 29th Street, and he impressed me, and he was very nice to me, and he was half Cuban, which was very sweet. And I bumped into him another time, and he gave me the address of who to send the package to for acting. And I put together a package, what I had that day. I had been on a CBS pilot, and that was it. And I had done, like, everything else in that resume was bullshit except for the comedy work. Everything else was fucking minor league shit. I dropped off the package, no reel, headshot, resume, bio. And I dropped it off. 2-3 weeks, I didn't hear nothing. So at this time, I had gotten into a system to send shit out and drop stuff off. Monday and Tuesday were my heavy days. So that meant Sunday night, after I emceed at the store, till about 1 or 12, even while I was snorting blow, I would still go home, snort blow, drink alcohol, and lick envelopes and get them ready for the next couple of days. There were some envelopes you could send out, and there were some envelopes you had to deliver on hand by mano to mano to really get the most out of your quality, because you want the casting assistant to see you. See, these casting assistants are young, and guess what they do at night? They go to comedy clubs. They can't come up to you and say hello, because who wants to talk to a casting assistant? Who the fuck are you? You'll talk to them once or twice, but guess what? They'll recognize you, and they'll go, oh my God, I just saw you last week at the Pink Pussycat. And you're like, you go to the Pink Pussycat? Yeah. They don't want to go to the Comedy Store or the Improv. They want to be a little different, so they go to the alternative places, and next thing you know, you have an audition, bro. You know, the weirdest thing ever was when I went in for the what is that? The Machinist? What was the show I did? The CBS show? The Mentalist.
Yes.
When I did The Mentalist, I went to the audition the first day, and there was fucking 80 people in the room. I'm like, I'm not going to get this, but I took a picture with Stephen Bow when he retweeted it. And that night I had a message from the fucking author of the book. What role do you want? Well, I said, this one. And the next day they called me and offered me the role.
It's interesting.
Bro, you never know how you're going to pop a role.
Everything works that way.
But if you're not involved, like I shouldn't, like, there would have been a time when I would have gone to that audition, looked in that room, and cracked and left. And then on the drive, I would have realized what a big fucking mistake I made, because I had nothing else to do, and I was going to get a chance to talk to people and find out about different shit, because that's what audition is. Audition, you know how people always go to you, well, you have to go to bars. The fucking number one place to find out about jobs is at auditions. When you see other working actors, they're not there because they're fucking taking acting classes, buying into the fucking Scientology. No. They're there because they told those people to go fuck themselves. They're working. And these people bang it out. That commercial life is fucking rough. You know, you're right. But I don't know how busy it is, Agostino. I really don't. So I'm not going to tell you to quit your job. At one point, if it's that busy, you'll just go, I'm quitting because I can live off this. It's a weird thing. It's just a very fucking weird occupation.
I was just watching some football on Sunday, and I saw this open micer that I kind of came up with on a fucking Home Depot commercial. It's insane. I'm like, did I just see you in a Home Depot commercial? He's like, yeah. He just started it. He just started going out for it and just got it.
That's how it is, because they like new faces. They like new blood. Everybody they see, they know. They see these people once a week. But they got to see you, they trust you, and they don't know what the producer wants. Listen, unless you go... Commercial auditions, people get mad at them. And I got to tell you something. Now, in hindsight, I miss not going for them. Because me, at this age, I'd probably go for 4 a year. But I'd be so fucking excited when I'm driving to Ocean Drive, because I know exactly where to go eat. I know exactly where to park. You know, I've been doing it for years. You're not a newbie when you go.
You did like 4 a year. You think you'd book 1 a year?
Yeah, if I go to 4 commercial auditions a year, because they're going to be for the usual suspects, a pizza guy, a mafia dude, a fucking something, you know. And I spoke to Lawrence a few weeks ago. We're trying to work on something. But yeah, I'm thinking of going back out for commercial auditions, because it's fundamentals. You learn how to go back to fucking, it's a different type of acting. Your mind works differently. Like I always tell people, when I go for mobster roles, for movies and TV, I wear a black or dark shirt. For commercials, I wear a white shirt.
What's the point of that?
Commercials, your commercial has to run in Iowa the same way as it has to run in New York City. A lot of times you have to paint the picture for the director. I don't want you to go, for commercials especially, I don't want you to go in there dressed like the guy to the T. I want you to wear something that camouflages what you're really wearing. Like, you see that shirt right there you have on?
Okay.
The most distinguishing thing about that shirt are the strings. When I went in for basketball, I wore a shirt with strings because it signifies a whistle around your neck. That's what it looks like. Sometimes appearances just make it seem like what they are. You're going for a maintenance man, I don't want you to dress like a maintenance man, but wear a gray shirt. Don't wear your name. Just let them know how you look in a shirt that's tailored.
As opposed to you going in for basketball with an actual whistle around your neck. That just
there you go. Stupid. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Those motherfuckers never get dick.
You see those guys in there?
I always see them guys. You go for commercial auditions, they're dressed like a baker.
They got the chef hat.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't give a fuck what the fucking agent tells you. Like, the agent will call you, oh, by the way, they want you to wear a chef hat. Great. I ain't wearing no fucking chef hat. I'll wear a baseball hat. That's white.
What if they say they want you to wear a white shirt today? Will you go in wearing it, not a white shirt so to stand out? Or no, whatever, just fuck it, wear a white shirt.
I'll see what the role is, who the people are, and what the situation is. There's always, I got this audition when I was out. I would have had to go all the way up to the valley. I would have never made it back. Okay, no worries. Do you understand me? So if the audition's in Santa Monica, you had to go all the way back up to Woodland Hills to get a white shirt. Unless you want me to go buy a white shirt, and you always do have a white shirt in the car.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to mess with their head too, in a different way.
So you wear white in commercials, and then why do you wear black for movies?
Because movies are more realistic. That was my strategy always. Commercials are fucking more for the national people. This is, I can't scare people in Iowa with these fucking commercials. These commercials, I'm trying to make you like me and the product. So I would always go in a white shirt, and I would always book those. Everybody who went in there with a black shirt wouldn't book it. Those are the little things I love, because after you go to acting class, it's going to take you to 6 months to 18 months to learn the ropes of auditioning, to put all the pieces together, all the components that you have to reach for. You have to use a little bit of your stand-up shit at night, but I can't tell you what it is. This is what acting coaches don't tell you.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a stand-up comic. What I want you to do is separate yourself from the comedian Agostino, but I still want you to be there. So separate yourself from the comedian, and you're still there in that room. It's still the same stuff as stand-up. You ever see the movie, what's the movie with De Niro, with Pacino, and the black kid that he plays football?
I think it's Any Given Sunday. No.
What is it?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
You guys are terrible at movies.
The Replacements?
It's about football? Or
yeah, Lawrence Taylor,
I was right. Any given Sunday.
Any given
Oh, yeah,
Sunday.
yeah,
There's a thing of any given Sunday that always has stuck with me. And I figured that out with acting, especially as a stand-up comic. There's a scene where he goes, listen, forget about what's going on. Clear your mind. I want you to think about being a kid, being in front of your mama's house. It's 5 to 5. Your mom yells out, honey, come on in. We're eating dinner. You got one more play. You huddle up before you do the play. And it's the same thing as usual. Run to the Cadillac and cut left and you score. This is the same thing when you're playing pro football, just on a smaller level. So with stand-up is and acting are very close. You're not going to go in there and do your own material. You're going to stick to the script. But what you're going to borrow from stand-up is the bravado, the fucking... you're a stand-up. So psychologically, I could do this with my eyes closed. So you have to bring that type of... If they see... A casting agent is just like anything else. If they see blood, they're going to know you're weak. So you got to walk in there with the stand-up type of bravado that everybody knows when you walk in. They know you're a fucking real stand-up comic. Your timing is on, and you go in there, you can improvise. You listen to the director. Every director's going to make you do something different, even if you're doing it right. You know why? He wants to make sure that you listen. He wants to make sure you can be directed. So when you go in those rooms and you do it right, and the director goes, do me a favor, do it again. But at the end, jump up and down. And then you jump up and down on the way home. You go, why did he make me jump up and down? He wanted to see if you could follow direction.
They actually will do stuff like that?
Yeah, they have to see if you're going to be easy to work with. They have their tricks, and you have to have yours. It's very interesting what I learned those years. It made me a fucking animal. It made me an animal.
I've always felt that a stand-up comic can get into acting easier.
Look at them.
Than anyone.
Look at them. Rappers get in it. Stand-up comics get in it.
But I don't think actors can get into stand-up comedy as easy.
No, they try. This is a process, brother. I want people at home to understand this always. This is a fucking process. Lee brought up a great point at the beginning of the podcast that, I've seen people headline in 18 months and brag about it. And I'm happy for them. But I know that any night they're about to get fucking doomed.
Any night.
And it's such a beating that you get, Lee, that some of those headliner beatings are tough to recover from, G.
At this point, as a headliner, as terrible as this might sound, do you look forward to those people getting those beatings?
Yes, I cheer for them to get beatings because this is what's going to snap them out of it. This is what either makes them quit or make you a stand-up comic.
Oh my God.
I still remember covering for Jimmy Schubert in Jacksonville at that hotel down there for 5 nights. And I ate dick every fucking show as a headliner. I had no idea what I was doing. I still have nightmares of that audience just staring at me. Just waking up in the middle of the night to a bunch of fucking white people.
Do you remember specific faces?
Oh, yeah. I still remember that night.
I remember my bad bombs. They stick with you like
forever. It's psychological.
Like a fucking painted picture in your head.
It was a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Friday was great because it was all you could eat seafood night. So you did your set real quick before you started shitting blood on stage. Before you had brown leakage on your pants right on stage. They gave you those crabs from Neptune, New Jersey that had like barge oil on them in the fucking 60s.
I haven't heard of Neptune.
Neptune, New Jersey. The home of fucking Jack Nicholson. Anyway, why are you taking me on Jack Nicholson?
Is it really?
I think so. Who the fuck knows? I'm as high as fuck. I don't know nothing.
Really?
I'm saying, yeah. These stars, these fucking things put you in limbo. And then you mix them with stars and this fucking reefer, this...
You want a cookie?
Not right now. I don't be eating cookies on camera, you know what I'm saying?
He's still he knows how many points those are. He's like, oh
yeah.
My God.
Those are 6 points.
Put together.
Sorry, she cooks healthy.
Is she?
Yeah, she'll put like half the powder, half the sugar, half the butter, whatever they fucking put in those things.
So the first thing on your plan is you're still going to do 4 spots a week.
Yeah.
So that's 16 spots a month. So that's fucking 10 spots is 160. And then you got, so you end the month out, you end the year out with 192, which isn't bad. And you're a writer, so you'll try new shit in between.
Mm-hmm.
You're also going to try to book 2 commercials and try to get a commercial agent, which is going to be a 3-month task or it could be a 2-day task. It's up to you. You got to go down to Samuel French and get the commercial. I know a couple agents that'll sign you and they'll get you out. They'll get you the fuck out. And that's what you want. You want to go out till you get comfortable. The more you go out, the better you get.
Just like being on stage.
Yeah, it's just like being on stage. And that's the back door that I took. I was still at the store every night banging it out with those gorillas. But in the daytime, I was auditioning for anything and everything. Anything and everything. And then, you know, they would raise the stakes from time to time. And I would go all the way to the end and not get it. But hey, at least I was in the mix. I was in the mix for a ton of shit. Ton of shit that I could have gone home and cried and taken my ball home and said, fuck those motherfuckers. You got to be a Scientologist to work. But I knew that the more no's I got, I was getting closer. I knew there was a lot of shit. And after the Sopranos, they were making a lot of shit and they were looking for guys like me. So I knew I was going to get through. I went out every couple of days. I went out for something. They were throwing shit at me all the time. And there was a lot of stuff I turned down. I just went in for the audition for practice. I bought a book called Audition. I think, you know, that's the first thing I read when I moved here. You buy that at Samuel French. It helped me to a degree. But the thing that pushed me over the top was doing storytelling on stage. From going to a desperate stand-up comedian, because you're desperate for laughs as a stand-up, but the biggest bridge to cross is when you tame the audience and tell a story. It's a different type of patience, and a lot of comics can't take it. That's a lot of silence for a punchline. That's a lot of silence for a payout. So a lot of people fall under cracker. They spin right out into a joke, and now they destroyed the whole thing because people smelled their fear. So that's what really taught me how to audition. While I was up there telling the story, I said, "Oh shit! Look what I'm doing. I'm auditioning. It's the same fucking thing. It's 3 minutes." When I go in those rooms, I'm doing a fucking 3-minute bit for these people. And I remember going in for 1,000 things that were one line. And I would get so pissed, the Agostino. Hold the elevator. Excuse me, is this Broadway? That type of shit. And I would leave there frustrated. I went in for 20 of those motherfuckers. Then I would walk out of there and just throw the audition in the garbage as I was walking out, because I knew I was never going to see these people.
Is the audition like 10 seconds?
10 seconds. Hi, Lee. Thank you for coming down. Okay. Do you know the line? Yes, I do. Slate for the camera, please. How tall are you? How much do you weigh? Are you a vegan? Okay, thank you. Let's do this. Stand right there, Lee. Are you ready? Hi, is this the elevator? That was tremendous. Thank you for coming down. You just drove an hour. It's going to take you 2 hours to drive back. But those 2 hours is where you sitting there and learn how to put that audition together next time. So it took me like a year of those to get so fucking frustrated. And one night I was high on coke, and I went in my folder and I took out one of those one-line auditions. And I go, what can I do to this to make it? Because at this, I want time. My objective is time in that room. When you go to those auditions and you sit outside the audition and you see people walk in and walk out and they're in there, you go, my objective is not to book this. My objective is to sit in there longer than these fools. What do I have to do to, even if I make a mistake, going in there, and I had just to play with her head. So she calls me out to direct it. I'm still longer in there than these fools. So I would take a line and cut it in half and turn it into 2 lines. And that's when I started booking. Because it would make me hold me in there longer.
It's a game of numbers.
I would do what nobody else was doing with that line. And my goal was to sit in there as long as possible. To hold the scene as long as possible. So instead of you running and me going, hey, stop, don't shoot, or whatever the fuck, I'll shoot. I would see you running and I go, hey, come back. Stop. I'll shoot. I would break it into 4 breaths. Even if she didn't fucking like it, I didn't give a fuck. It kept me in there, and I was different than saying that same fucking line. And that's when I started booking shit. Then I conquered the 1-line auditions. Okay, that's co-star. But then you had auditions that were co-stars that were 2 or 3 lines. That was my next move, to get up to that. Co-star, boom. And then the next thing is guest star. Then you gotta get one of those. You gotta write it out. I want to be in 1 guest star episode. And you go in for 30 guest stars before you book one.
Fuck.
They're the hardest ones because they're the ones that give the movie stars. But then one day, bro, you book a guest star and you're like, oh shit. Oh shit. Remember in Spider-Man, I had 1 line, dog. Right? I had 1 line in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I flew off the fucking floor. I landed on the couch. My hat flew off. You know, I gave them nothing but heart in that audition. I didn't just go, don't move me, whatever the fuck the line was.
Yeah.
I said something and then paused and then said it again and then flew fucking backwards.
You want to get to him, you got to go through me, I think it was,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. So even for that, I got that shit. And then I evolved. I got Taxi, and I got a monologue, and I got Analyze This, and I got a little monologue in the beginning. And then, bam, I got The Longest Yard now. Like, I got all these movies that opened up on me with credits going through me and shit. Fuck that. I got to get out of that thing.
Did you notice that helped you in stand-up at all?
What's that?
Get booked more? Because you're all of a sudden you're making appearances in these movies?
Well, I'll tell you what happens. And I tell people this, that's very important. And a lot of comics look at me like I'm fucking crazy. The most important thing is to let people know, to send a message, is when they see you on TV. That's the bottom line. That means ducats. So that club owner that didn't like you before, now doesn't want to be on the bad side of you in case you do blow up. So now you will get MC spots in there. And guess what? If you're nice and you do a good job, and I recommend you, you'll start fucking featuring.
How important is it, do you think, to have a manager or an agent for stand-up?
Okay.
At my point, where I'm like 9 years in now.
Okay. You have to look at what you're making, and you have to be realistic with yourself. What is he going to make from my comedy salary? How is he going to make a living off me? If I gave somebody 10% of my comedy salary, if Joey Diaz gave me 10% of his comedy salary, would you even take the time to call me back? You're making $500 at a club, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
He gets $50 fucking dollars. What's $50 going to do for him?
Then why do it?
So,
but isn't the idea that he's going to get you more work?
Well, here's the thing, and I just saw it happen with two friends of mine. They went with comics that were huge, and you're sitting there waiting for something to fall off the big tree, and nothing falls off the big tree. And I'll tell you why. Because Lee's my number 3 client. I book Lee on the road for the weekends for 30 G's a weekend. So, Agostino, what you want me to do is hang up with one of Lee's clubs and call a club that you're going to feature at for $500 fucking dollars, so you get $50 commission. That's what you're telling me. I just closed a deal for fucking Lee for 24 grand, and he gets a 5 grand bonus if he sells out. And you want me to call fucking Cottondale Comedy Club in fucking Cottondale, New Jersey, and book you for a feature act for Louis the One-Eyed Frog. It's a tough mentality for a comic to even think, yeah, he's gonna help me out. They're gonna make a few calls for you and then call you one day and go, bro, I'm too busy with Lee. So you have to see where you're at, because at the end of the day, it's, again, the envelope.
Yep.
How much are you going to bring to the fucking table?
So for stand-up, are you saying there's not really a point to have a manager or an agent until you're someone to sell?
Absolutely. And get work on your own, so you always know how to get work on your own. That's the most important thing. That if I see a ton of people that'll go, bro, how come you go out so much? I got an agent. I don't go out. I got an agent and a manager. Well, this is the problem, that you sit at home and wait for the phone to ring. Even though you have a manager and an agent, you still have to create your own shit so they can make the call for you. You have to give them a reason. You have to create a hailstorm. So you got to be doing something at all times. A short film, even if it's for free. Mm-hmm. You're always doing something. A podcast, a short film. You're fucking helping your friends write a fucking one-man show, and you're gonna co-direct it. You're looking at me like, Joey, what the fuck does that do? It don't do dick, but it lets people know that you're working. Somebody who doesn't give you work today doesn't mean dick. That person's gonna give you work in 5 years. Even though now you've called him 10 times and he won't return your calls. It's fucking crazy. But at the end of the week, it's about money. That's the bottom line. Everybody wants to say they have managers and agents. And yeah, you have some agents that put you on this and put you on that. But it all depends on your heat. I've seen a lot of comics in this town that have signed with managers that are too big for them. And then they get frustrated. The guy hasn't called me back. Sure, he's fucking Andrew Dice Clay's managing Dennison's manager. He's going to call you back to get you a weekend at the Boise, Idaho Funny Bone. I'm happy that you're still doing it. I'm happy that you're still part of the little writing team. And if I have dates this year that I could take you on, I always take you on. You're a real up-and-comer. Like I said, me and my little younger agent were speaking about you. And I've always respected your writing. So let me know what you want this year. You want to book a commercial?
Yeah, I want to start breaking into the acting a little bit.
You want to write material?
I want to keep my at least 4 spots a week. I want my podcast to be doing a lot better.
Where do you go on Tuesday nights?
Tuesday. Not really anywhere to go on Tuesday. I mean, I'll usually go to the main clubs and just show my face in there.
Maybe tomorrow night we'll go to the Fourth Wall. It should be open by tomorrow
I'm down
night.
for that.
It's open.
It's open?
They started up again on the 29th.
Did they? Okay. Maybe we'll go over there tonight and tell them who you're running with, Lee Syatt. Get the
Perhaps.
party
You still go there, Lee?
I haven't. They've been closed. They were closed for
the holiday?
Yeah. Well, when I was here, yeah.
Do you go up when you go there?
Yeah.
Yeah? You like it?
Yeah. I mean, I think I've gone out there like 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times.
I've been up there before.
I'm going to go down there tomorrow night, maybe.
Yeah, let's go.
See what's cracking like it. But no, I'm happy you had time to come on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Goals are important in comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't realize you have to know what you're going for. If not, you're spinning your fucking wheels every year and you're in the same place you were a year ago. You have to look at the year later and go, okay, what were my goals this year? And look at them and go, oh, look at this. I went for 3 fucking guest stars, but I got 2 of them. I went for 3 commercials, but I got 2 of them. Why did I do it? I went to acting class 1 night a week. And like I said, listen, bro, everybody wants to go, listen, well, this guy was Buffy the Vampire Slayer's acting coach. Who gives a fuck? Give me a guy that knows how to break down an acting scene for $90 a month, Tuesday nights from 7 to 10. I could care less. All you're looking for is 2 or 3 months of acting class just to realize what these guys aren't doing. So now you do that. So now you're always busy as a comic. You're working at night, you're dropping off envelopes in the daytime. And what you're doing is, it's like a positive energy fucking magnet. You're creating your own thing because you're going to places and dropping off these envelopes. Something has to happen. Something has to happen. And you'll go drop an envelope off hoping for this role in this call. But you dropped that envelope off 2 weeks ago that now they're casting that you forgot about, and now they call you and you go, Jesus Christ. If I would have sat at home, I would have never got that audition. It's a hustle. And now you're covering two bases. You're covering the back door and you're still working on the front door. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing there, Morte?
I'm morning it up. I'm doing good, buddy.
Look at the shape of your eyeballs are as red as your shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. The fucking Coke shirt, red as shit.
These empty? No.
No, they're still good as shit. Leave those there. Don't even touch them. Don't even touch them. They'll fuck your fingernails up. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of fingernails, let me talk to you people about something. Does your business have any New Year resolutions? Here's an important one every business should consider. Make your hiring process more efficient and effective. This year, let ZipRecruiter help. No one has done a better job of transforming how you find the right talent than they have. ZipRecruiter, listen, if you're in need of great talent for your business but short on time, you don't have to get lost in the huge stack of resumes to find your perfect hire. You just need the right tools, smarter tools, and that's where ZipRecruiter comes in. Why? ZipRecruiter posts your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards with just one click. Then ZipRecruiter actively looks for the most qualified candidates and they invite them to apply. They even review their application to identify the top candidates so you never miss a great match. That's why ZipRecruiter is different. Unlike other job hirings, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on the right candidates finding you. It finds them. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by businesses of all sizes and industries to find the most effective, qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, today, the church family can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. Free. Did I say that? Free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/church. CHURCH. That's ZipRecruiter.com/church. One more time. ZipRecruiter.com/church. The smart way to find someone to hire. Number 2, listen, don't embarrass me, but don't make me not say it. It's a new year. You want to date, you want to go on Match.com and Christian Mingle. That's all nice. You got a nice car, but you know what? When you take your pants off for them to suck your dick, they could smell their asshole. By the time you unbuckle your pants, they could smell that rot developing in your asshole because you didn't stop home and take a shower and wash that muffler. You think it's cute to fucking leave the house at 7, take 2 shits at work, and then walk around with that death all day. Why do you do this to yourself? Uncle Joey's here to help you out. You know why? I'm bringing you a portable bidet. You're like, Uncle Joey, what's that? A bidet. It's portable. You attach it right to your toilet, and every time you take a fucking shit, you press a button. Hot water hits your ass, and you don't have to touch. You don't have to waste toilet paper. Fucking disgusting. They killed 20 trees for you to wipe one fucking time. Those days are done. We're back, baby. Go to hellotushy.com right now and press in church. Get 10% off. Let me tell you something. They got fucking bidets of every color. They'll match your bathroom decor in one way or another. You understand me? Speaking about decor, you have decor, and you'll be walking around with a clean fucking asshole to start the new year off. Nope, listen, that's the number one thing. You gotta keep your muffler clean. Go to hellotushy.com and use code CHURCH and get 10% off your order. Let me tell you something. You got a 60-day money-back guarantee if something happens. Listen, I've had mine for 2 years. Lee's had his for 2 years. If we haven't broken it with our fat ass, you won't either. HelloTushy.com. I'll see you motherfuckers Wednesday night. Tip Top Magoo, ready to rock and roll. I want to wish a lot of luck to the Agostino. I help him any way I can.
Thank you.
And my main man, the fucking Christ killer, for getting the night off correctly. We ate some fucking tremendous edibles and went deep for you people tonight on a full moon here in California.
Yeah, it is.
Stay black. We'll see you Wednesday. I love you motherfuckers. Don't forget, sorry about the Ice House. It's sold out Saturday night. But we'll see you January 18th, Austin, Texas. Bitches, what? Cap City Comedy Club. Get your tickets now before they fucking go quick. 'Cause I'm not going out that much this year. So I don't think that, I love fucking Austin. You know me, I make my fucking bi-yearly appearance, whatever the fuck it is, every other year. And I'm coming down heavy. That's all you need to know. January 18th, ready to fucking rock and eat gumbo with fucking Katrina fingernails in it. I'll see you motherfuckers then. Have a great fucking 2 days, and we'll talk to you Thursday morning. Stay black. Kick that fucking mule, Lee.